The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters. The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy.
Yo, it's your boy Maki and your boy Kane, man. This is episode number 90. You know exactly what time it is. We will be reviewing the latest and greatest episode. Well, not the greatest, but hey, man, it's more recent. It's a recency bias. W fucking ratio your mom. We're getting ready to review this emergency meeting. So with that being said, I'm going to pass the mic over to Kane. Let him say what he got to say. And to all the viewers watching this now and to all the viewers watching later, if you haven't hit the like button yet, what the fuck are you doing with your life, you stupid bitch?
You already know what time it is, man. We're back here to speak on some more real. We don't give a damn about how you feel. I don't give a fuck about what you think. Yeah. Now we finna review this and we finna break it down for y'all. We're gonna tell y'all what it is and what it ain't.
So the greatest things about these interviews, or not interviews, I should say, episodes, when it comes to a real game server, you can literally go to any point of what they're talking about and find some games. So I'm starting completely here at random. We'll see what they're talking about, and then I'll have Kane break it down.
Money, and they will still laugh, still have fun, still survive. So I think brotherhood is an extremely important thing. And the number one question I get asked all the time, and the reason I'm mentioning it is because you two guys are here. People always say, hey, I want better friends. You know, I want brothers like you guys have. I want to be part of the war room or whatever else. And ask me, how do I do that? So what would you say is the answer to that question? How do you become the kind of man, or what do you do as a man to find friends worth having?
Well, I can actually start for a second. You meet lots of men in your lifetime, and the number one go-to to look for, I think, in identifying good people, because I've been to the bottom of the bottom and back to the top. And I think the number one go-to that I look for, it's why I still have some friends for a very long time, like Peter and Adam and those guys from Slovakia, because when I was down and out, when I was broke, when I had nothing to eat, they'd message me, hey, man, you want to meet for a drink? They cared about hanging out with me, regardless of everything else that I do. It's crazy how in the past 5 years, every single man I've ever met in my entire life or hung out with for 1 day or 1 week, they're all like, oh, man, I'd love to catch up with you. Oh, I bet you would. Well, at my mansion, on my boat, in the jet, over here. I bet you'd love to catch up with me. But why didn't you want to catch up with me when I was down and out? So, you know who your real friends are, because when you're down, you know who's looking out for you and who's messaging you. I said this to you, actually, in prison. I said, the one thing I miss, I went 92 days, no women, no booze, no fun, no nothing. And when I finally got put in a room with Andrew, I was like, yeah, I missed you, man. But you know what? I miss my friends. And that's why whenever I got the chance to pass a message to someone on the phone, to tell Luke to post something on my Twitter, I was tweeting cowboy country music because I knew you'd read it. Yep. I didn't want to pass love letters to outside. I was like, no. I want Justin to know that I'm okay. Because I think that your friends are the foundation you build everything on. You know, women and children and everything else in life that brings you untold amounts of joy is part of the castle you build upon the foundation. But the men are certainly part of the foundation.
Yeah. How do you get friends worth having? That's the question I'm asking our two guests. How would you say, if you're out there and you're a young man right now, you're 17, 18 years old, and you agree with everything we say, and you understand that your key.
So before we go any further, what do you think about Tristan's breakdown about having your day ones, A1s?
That's 100% facts what you said, man, because, I've had shit like that happen to me before where shit's going good, and everybody's there trying to talk to you, trying to hang out with you, trying to figure out what's going on. And then when shit hits the fan, everybody disappears, there's nobody around you. You feel like you're living in a damn ghost town, even though you live in a town full of fucking people. Everybody and their mom is gone. But when shit going good, they're around. So yeah, man, it's you really do know who your real homies are. When shit hits the fan, you really do know who battle tested and who ain't. When something happens and you don't got nothing going on, shit, maybe you lost a whole hell of a lot of money. Maybe your car broke down for a week. You don't got it. You're the only one with the car. All types of shit could happen, man. Maybe you might lose your house. You're the only homie who has his own house. Who knows what the fuck could happen? But you won't know who your real ones are until they get battle tested. You go through shit like that. Whoever stay hitting you up trying to figure out what's going on, if you're good or not, they the ones that you should focus on keeping around more than the ones who ain't. Now that's not to say let your guard down, because a lot of times people fake that shit. I done had somebody fake a whole brotherhood for longer than damn near like 15 years. Turn around out of nowhere, switch up, all in the name of first-hand experiences. But yeah, man, brotherhood is something that most definitely needed in a man's life, because a man can only be as sharp as his mind, and if he don't got nobody around him that's helping him to keep his mind sharp, he's going to become dull. Next thing you know, he's going to become dull. Next thing you know, he ain't going to not be doing shit. Next thing you know, he's going to fall off the face of the earth, and you're not going to have nothing.
The key to your life is to find brothers who you know are going to agree with your mindset and are going to help you and you can rely on and aren't going to snake you, and be good men, and you're going to combine your powers as a team, and you're going to try your very best to conquer the world. What would you say are the most important things when it comes to finding other men that you can negotiate with and work with and conquer the world with? And how do you think those relationships would work overall?
I'll chime in real quick. A lot of people are looking, and a lot of people feel like they're entitled to good friendship and entitled to respect. You have to first become a person that's admirable, a person that's respectable first. For instance, one example we gave you is get your ass in the gym. Become a man that's working towards something, that's disciplined enough. Because as another man, if I see that, I'm like, oh, this man is disciplined. That means I could rely on him to follow through with something.
It's really interesting you said that. You know what?
That's the best answer I've
No, but it's really interesting you said that, because it's actually almost instant for any man out there. If you want to find friends which are hardworking and dedicated and motivated, and you want to respect them, and you want them to respect you back, go into a fight gym and learn how to fight for real. And you will have a bunch of friends who aren't afraid, who aren't cowards, who respect you, who you respect back, You'll have some of my best friends. In fact, a lot of the guys who've been visiting me this last week, anyone who's following me on Twitter, I've been sparring with, are guys I used to train with 10, 11, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
And they're still coming to see me. So, yeah, that's a fantastic way, because I think if we actually psychoanalyze that, that's interesting. When men go through shared experiences, I think that's how we bond, especially if it's shared hardship. It doesn't matter if it's a football team, winning a game, losing a game, going to war, your army buddies, going to fight, your fight buddies. We have to have some kind of shared hardship to bond with. And I think that's very important. So if you're the kind of guy who avoids hardship or avoids challenges or tasks, you're going to struggle to find any kind of friends worth having in the first place.
Now, Justin, you played a little bit of football, or as we.
What you think about that?
That's 100% facts, man. You know, Scripture says that a man shall eat by the sweat of his brow. And there's multiple different meanings by that. You know, there's multiple different ways you could be eating besides eating actual food. You know, you could be eating physically, mentally, emotionally, friendship wise, family wise, whatever the case may be. And I have to agree. I do think that men have a certain way of bonding through hardships. You know, I think that's just what we do. You know, we're meant to do hard shit. We're meant to suffer through hard shit and come through on the other side. And when you do that shit together with somebody, it's like it brings you closer because both you understand. Damn, this shit hit hard, but we still made it through. You know, so it's like, I mean, I can't really explain it any other way than he did because there's really not a better way to explain it. But yeah, man, it's men do have a way of bonding over hardships because that's what we're meant to do. We go through hard shit. We're not meant to eat nothing without working for it.
You called it soccer, didn't you? You were on the soccer team, right?
Yep, whole lot of soccer, never changing. But to chime in on that,
Your microphone's too close. I keep saying. Hold it here. It's good.
you have to raise expectations for yourself, because if you can't bring some sort of honor to the friendship, then how are you going to expect that out of the next guy? So if we're all walking down the street and one of us is weak, then we didn't bring that to the relationship in the first place. That's why I always say ethics come before you need them, you know. Or I don't want weak friends. I don't want broke friends. I don't want friends that can't get women, because in some way, somehow they'll either snake you or not show up for you in the way that you're supposed to. If I couldn't leave work, spend 20 grand on flights just to come be in prison, I haven't left the gates all week. And I would.
What you think about what Justin just said with that?
That's facts. I know multiple people in my past who I used to think were friends, were homies, whatever the case may be. Couldn't do this. They couldn't do some of the same shit that I could. They couldn't keep up with some of the same shit I was doing. But they didn't have any of the same shit that I had. And over time, they let Keisha out, and they switched up, and they get mad. They start hating. They start trying to bring you down, because they're just weaker than you are in certain areas, and they don't feel like improving, because in their mind they don't feel like they need to improve. They think it should just be handed to them without no type of work. So if you got them type of people around you in your circle, you need to examine your circle, figure out who it is, and if they don't get their shit together, man, you're gonna have to leave them behind, because they're gonna be detriment. This is gonna be a detriment to you in your future.
The way I look at it is this: I stay away from. It's a red flag to me if we're cool and you can't get something. Not because you don't. Not because. Okay, so there's a difference between when you can attract something because you just got the sauce, and to where you get money. So now that allows you to have some. A lot of people, they can't get anything until they get money. A lot of people can't get anything until they start kissing ass. And once you get money and you start kissing ass, you get access to things that you never had. And a lot of people say they're loyal until they get that first taste of some pussy, until they get that first taste of some money, until they get that first taste of popularity. And then all of a sudden they switch up. So I stay away from individuals who never had access to things, because it's like, dude, whenever you get that access, you're destined to fold, because you're going to get addicted to that. You'll turn on your own mother for that dopamine release that you have never gotten before. That's why a lot of people, most things you can sit back, analyze the data and say, yeah, I wouldn't do that. But certain experiences, you can't say what you would do, because an addiction is an addiction. And if you're not addicted to something, it's easy to stay off of it. Once you get addicted, you'll do anything to keep that in your life.
That's facts, but I know that shit from firsthand. I remember I used to always say, man, I ain't never gonna smoke no weed. I ain't never gonna do none of this, that, and the third. I ain't never gonna smoke no cigarettes. And there was some point in time where I got addicted to that shit. So it's like, yeah, man, it's facts. You can't say whether you would or wouldn't do something when it comes to addictive habits and shit and behaviors because you've never been in that situation before.
Yep. So I think that's a good reference point as far as a breakdown for that. We'll do many more videos if I can remember. But with that being said, what do you got to bring to the table tonight?
Man, I want to talk about this one bitch. She was I guess she was performing or shit, some shit, singing a song or whatever, and her name was Janelle Monáe. And in the middle of her concert, she wants to sit around and pop her titties out and just show them off to everybody, children included. And it's like, man, when are we gonna stop uh, allowing certain people to sexualize themselves in front of people of all ages? You know, and I'm not saying this should happen, but it's a double standard. You know, imagine if a dude did that shit, immediate prison time, uh, public indecency, sexualizing a minor, all types of different shit. But because it's a female who's got some titties and some ass, she gonna pull that shit out in front of kids, and everybody gonna be all right with it. This is why I'm saying, man, we gotta stop this shit because this is children that are seeing this shit. They're gonna grow up and think that that's what they're supposed to do. They're gonna grow up and think, yeah, man, I'm supposed to pop my titties out when I'm older, and that's not what's supposed to happen, man. And I'm sitting around and saying we got to come back to a point to where we can rationalize certain thoughts in our head to think, okay, that's not what we're supposed to do. We don't need to do that, especially if there's kids around. If there are kids around, why do I want to do that? That's fucked up. You know, people don't think like that. You know, if you're at a club, okay, whatever, you're at a club, you know, but kids don't go to clubs. I mean, like, come on now. Like, you can't make this shit up.
Selective labeling, exactly what I call it. If it was a guy, he'd be in prison. You know, that's what I'm saying, man. They scream equality. That's why I like a female that wants to do her own thing. You don't need to be relying on a man because the truth of the matter is most of these quote unquote men are actually little boys that want titties in their mouth. They still want to be breastfed. So do what you do, but if you say that you want everything equal, then the consequences need to be equal too. Because this shit is out of hand. This is way out of this is preposterous, this is disgusting, and this is atrocious. But man, am I impressed or not impressed? Am I shocked? No, I'm not shocked. I'm not even electrocuted. Yeah. Nah, man, you can't make this shit up. And this is just some shit that isn't made up. So with that being said, man, that bitch is a 304. Imagine what her father has to see from other family members that are going to say, look at your daughter. Imagine what the mother's going to have to deal with. Like, they don't think about these things. They just impulsively live, bro. They have no morals. They just want to do whatever makes them feel good. And there's a destination that you will meet one day, one way or another. He's going to find you. Satan's going to get you one way. Oh, and y'all stupid as fuck. And y'all keep not believing, okay? And y'all keep believing that this earth is a ball, too.
That's facts, bro. People don't have no moral compass at all. That shit done blew up. They don't have the ability to rationalize no type of thinking. They don't have the ability to take captive any of their thoughts. They sit around and they basically just tell their family to fuck off. I'm gonna do what I want to do. And then second of all, why is it that we feel the need in today's society to do this type of shit to stay relevant? Like, do you understand there's so many other ways you could remain relevant besides sexualizing yourself? When you want to turn around and get mad when somebody treats you like that shit. Like, I remember that bitch Red. I ain't even gonna say the first part of her name because this shit is straight cap. But she was Red. She was playing one of her fucking shows. I guess she was in the crowd singing her shit, shaking her ass, shaking her fucking titties. Dude throws money at her, and she gonna turn around and yell at the dude, "Don't hit me with no money. I'm not a stripper." Well, bitch, you acting like a stripper. You dress like a stripper. You dance like a stripper. You walk like a stripper. You make music about stripping and going to Pound Town. You gonna get treated like a stripper. Shut you. This is what I can't stand, bro. Is when females sexualize themselves and turn around and get mad at getting treated by the way they portray themselves. Like, you can't make that shit up, bro.
Yeah, that's a good point. I was listening to a John Zerka video earlier, fucking, and there was this girl on there sitting around gossiping about another nigga saying, "Yeah, he made me feel uncomfortable," even though she was wearing fucking shorts upwards, way past her ass cheeks, sitting there bending over on camera, and she's saying that she feels like weirded out whenever a guy touches her, but she's sitting on there doing these types of things. You carry yourself as a promiscuous thought. And then all of a sudden you're surprised when people try to approach you like a hoe. If you do hoish things, well, you're a hoe. You can't say, oh man, this is just for money. Well, guess what? That's prostitution, man. So, and anyway, Zerka, that's an L for you sitting around a girl gossiping about another guy. Any of you niggas that sit around bitches and gossip about other guys, lame as fuck. That's all I got to say. And I fuck with Zerka, but he needs to quit screaming Andrew Tate's name all the damn time, bro. He hasn't even acknowledged you, nigga. You acting like a damn Keisha.
Damn. But yeah, man, if it walk like a duck, if it act like a duck, if it quack like a duck, if it fly like a duck, if it swim like a duck, then it's gonna be a fucking duck. Same thing with thoughts, same thing with sluts, same thing with strippers, same thing with prostitutes. If it look like any of those, sound like any of those, act like any of those, walk like any of those, it is one of those. So stop acting like you this, that, and the third, and get mad when somebody treats you like this, that, and the third. You can't make this shit up.
No, you can't. So with that being said, we're going to wrap this episode up. Shout out to everybody who was here. Shout out to the agents. Shout out to the gang stalkers. And shout out to all of your grandmothers, you stupid motherfuckers. That being said, man, the Kane Show will be coming on soon, and the Mocky Show will be coming on later. So with that being said, Kane, what you got to say?
Make sure y'all share with your friends, your families, and members, your auntie, your granny, and anybody else that y'all know. Quit acting like a fool, and you won't be treated like a fool. Quit dressing like a fool, and you won't be treated like a fool. With that being said, I'm up out of here.
The Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. But when you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters. The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy.
douches, hoes, bitch